Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in my last update about Guddan was finally able to expose Durga and his wife, and they were thrown out of the house. Then Durga sells Guddan to a man and the man takes Guddan away. Let's continue. After Durga sells Guddan to a man, the man locked Guddan in a room. Guddan calls AJ on the phone and says, I am closed in a room and it is all dark. Please save me, I am really scared. AJ says, do you hear me? Where exactly are you? Guddan says, I cannot see anything. AJ says to Grandma that Guddan is in trouble and he goes out to find her. Durga says that Guddan is such a problem. Grandma says to Durga that don't dare say a word against Guddan. AJ calls Guddan on the phone. He says, where are you? Guddan says, I have no idea. AJ says to Guddan that do you ever know anything? Guddan says to AJ that let me die then instead of taunting me. AJ asks Guddan that are you still showing me tantrum? He says turn on your location. Guddan says there is no data on my phone and she begged AJ to help her. AJ says to Guddan that everyone is worried at home because of you. Please look around and give me a hint of where you are. Guddan faints before she could give AJ the hint of her location. At home, Grandma is praying for Guddan to be safe. Lakshmi says, Grandma, please eat something. Grandma says, I will not eat anything until Guddan comes back. Durga says to Grandma that what about the puja? Grandma says, how can we do puja without Guddan? Durga says to Grandma that we cannot stop things if Guddan is not here. Grandma says, please God, help us find Guddan. Guddan is suffocating in the hideout. AJ says, please help me. Tell me where you are. Give me a hint. Guddan says, but I cannot do anything. I am suffocating. AJ says to Guddan that I promise that I will never say that you cannot do anything again. Please try and give me a hint of where you are. AJ says to Guddan that please don't let yourself be unconscious and tell me some hint. Guddan says I can do this. I will look for something to know where I am. At home, Lakshmi says that is what Guddan deserves. Durga says yeah, that is right. AJ says to Guddan on the phone that you can do this. Please look around and tell me what you see. Guddan says I can hear a bell sound. There is a temple around here. AJ says to Guddan that I can hear people performing the Krishna Aarti as well. It is very close. I am coming. AJ sees the temple and he gets out of his car. He sees the garage and he says Guddan. AJ throws the boxes in the garage here and there and he sees Guddan who has already fainted lying on the floor. AJ takes Guddan out of the box and he picks her up and he takes her out of the garage. Guddan hugs AJ and she sits in the car. Guddan comes home with AJ. Durga is shocked to see Guddan. Grandma asks Guddan and says, where did you go to? Guddan says to Grandma that you wanted me to do this puja, right? Yeah, I am. Let us do this puja together. Guddan and AJ do the puja together. AJ asks Guddan that how did you go to the abandoned garage? Guddan looks at Durga and says, yes, I did not go to that place on my own. Guddan asks that should we hide and tolerate sins? Grandma says no, we shouldn't hide sins. Guddan says I don't hide sins as well. I can never save a wrong person no matter what the consequences are. Guddan says to everyone that I don't know why she did this. Grandma asks Guddan that who are you talking about? Guddan goes to Durga and she points at her. Everyone is shocked. Guddan says I got to that place because of Durga. Grandma says what? Guddan says because of her, I ended up in that place. I have proof as well. Guddan shows everyone Durga's wedding necklace as the proof that Durga tried to get rid of her. Durga says to Guddan that so this is your proof. Durga takes out her wedding necklace and says what is this then? It is the same necklace and my necklace was with me all along. Guddan is shocked. Durga says to Guddan that don't accuse me for your selfish benefit. I gave this house everything and now I am being questioned. AJ says to Guddan that I totally trust Durga. If she is saying that she did not do it, then she did not do it. Guddan says no, it was Durga. AJ says to Guddan that it is Diwali today. Please stop it. Guddan is standing alone. Durga comes there. Guddan says to Durga that take your wedding necklace. Guddan says to Durga that I heard that wedding necklace is very important for a woman, but you easily go and made a duplicate to save yourself. Durga says to Guddan that yes, I did all this. Durga shows a video to Guddan where she was selling Guddan to the man. Guddan says to Durga that so you sold me to the man. Durga says to Guddan that this is the insult you deserve for what you did with us in the card party. I wanted to show you how much the family trusts me, and you can now see for yourself that nobody doubts me. Durga says to Guddan that you could have done something else to prove that I was behind your missing. Then maybe the family would have believed you. Guddan says to Durga that AJ trusted you and you are playing with his trust like this. This doesn't suit you. Guddan asks Durga that what is the difference between what you did today and the mistakes that I used to make. Durga says to Guddan that the difference between the both of us is that you are doing your foolishness to destroy the house, but I am doing all this for the betterment of this house. Guddan asks Durga and says, okay, let it go. Durga is shocked at Guddan's behavior. Guddan says to Durga that we are related in one way or the other after all. I am teaching you with love, so better understand. Guddan says to Durga that I am letting it go because I am your mother-in-law. Otherwise, I would have also fight back. Guddan leaves from there and Durga is angry. Guddan is making a rangoli. AJ steps on the rangoli. Guddan says, I spent so much time making this rangoli and AJ ruined it. Grandma asks AJ to fix the rangoli for Guddan immediately. Guddan sits with AJ and they make the rangoli together, even though AJ is really angry, but he is doing it because of Grandma. Grandma leaves from there. Guddan laughs at AJ and says that she is making him work. AJ says to Guddan that so this was a funny drama. Guddan says yes and says I can tell Grandma that you are not making the rangoli as she has instructed you to do. AJ is forced again to continue making the rangoli with Guddan. It is Diwali festival. Guddan brings all the firecrackers. Bhushan calls Grandma and asks about Guddan. Grandma says to Bhushan that Guddan has filled our Diwali with happiness. Guddan takes the phone and says to her father that I really miss you. Bhushan says to Guddan that we wanted to show you all the gift that Parv has brought for Revati. Guddan is shocked to hear that. Bhushan gives the phone to Parv. Guddan says to Parv on the phone that how dare you to go to my house after I warned you to stay away from my sister. Why are you there? I will show your real face to everyone soon, and she hung up the call. Parv greets Revati's parents and he leaves. AJ buys everything that Dutta had. Some men comes there and throws Dutta out of his seat in his office. AJ says to Dutta that this is all mine now. You achieve all this with lies, and now I am taking them. AJ asks Dutta to go away. Dutta says to AJ that he will pay for this, and he leaves. Siddhi says to Guddan that why are you not cracking the firecracker? It is Diwali festival, and you should celebrate. Guddan wonders if she should tell Siddhi about Parv. Parv comes there and Siddhi goes inside. Guddan says to Parv that how dare you to go to my house. Parv says to Guddan that I went to your house to give your parent and your sister Diwali gift. Parv begins to boast to Guddan about how he touched Revati. Parv says to Guddan that your sister's hands are so soft. Guddan gets angry and says how dare you. Guddan picks up the Diwali lamp and she throws the hot oil on Parv's hand. Okay guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like the video if you enjoy it, and please don't forget to share this video to anyone that you feel will be interested to watch, and I will see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.